Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Hannah, we can't hear you.
Sorry.
I saw your mouth moving and I was like, oh.
How about now? Is that better?
It is.
Okay. I was just saying we are back in our kind of COVID era technology. Angelica is fully dedicated to supporting our emergency response efforts with Helene. So I'll be both supporting this meeting and keeping an eye on Zoom. So please feel free to, if you accidentally get back into the attendee room, shoot me a message if I don't catch you right away to promote you to panelist. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Definitely good to see everyone. I know it's about 8:33, so a little bit after, but Hannah and I and Lorraine kind of decided we felt that as much as we would, I guess at times right now, to find out updates on how programs are doing, and just kind of use this forum for that. As I know we're all kind of going through different things, either personally or professionally, the way things are. So just wanted to reach out and use this time for that. So I think first let's just kind of see a roll call, see who all's here. Again, my name is George Redmond. I am the chair of the JCPC. It's October 17th, 2024. And it looks like we passed around. I see Beth Kraft.
Beth Kraft here, community member. I'll send it to Brandon.
Thank you, Beth.
Brandon Priester, Vice Chair of the JCPC.
You're going to send it to Brandon.
Oh, sorry. I will send it to Don.
Don Johnson, community religious member and chaplain over here at the jail. And I'll send it to Banta.
Banta Whitner, community member, and I will send it to Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy Bricker, mental health representative, Claire Vita. I will send it to Angie.
Good morning, everybody. Angie Garner, Via Health. I'll send it on to Regina.
Good morning. I'm Regina Herring. I am, hopefully y'all don't hear all the noise in the background, but I'm at the EOC. I am the newest member of Buncombe County, one of the newest. I am the Justice Services Director.
Welcome, Regina.
Thank you.
I'll pass it from Regina to Scott.
Hey,
Scott,
hey, it's Scott Dennis from the Public Defender's Office. Good to see everyone. Who have we not? I'll pass it to Lorraine.
we're showing Lorraine. I'm not sure if she's.
Oh,
Lorraine, are you able to unmute? There you go.
My apologies. I forgot to unmute. I'm here and it's good to see you all, and you'll be able to see me here in just a sec. If my video will cooperate. I'm Lorraine Williams, and I'm the area consultant that works with Buncombe County and a number of other counties in the West. And it's good to see you all today. Let's see, is there anyone else who hasn't? There are a couple of iPhone people. Hannah, do you know if any of...
Eric Robinson with Ashford Housing Authority.
Morning, Eric.
I pass it to the other iPhone user. I don't know the name.
We have Dr. Ross. Is that right?
Kadaya Ross, I don't know if you're able to unmute. Kadaya Ross with Public Health, Community Health Improvement Specialist. Let's see, we've got Scott. Are you the CPDSDD iPhone? I think that's Scott with the Public Defender's
yes, that's
Office.
me.
Okay, great.
That's me. Yep.
And let's see.
Good morning. I am JLW. I'm Jamie Lee Willix with Buncombe Alternatives in Teen Court.
Thank you,
Morning,
Jamie
Jamie.
Lee.
Thank you all.
I myself am Hannah Ledgerton, Youth Justice Division Manager with Buncombe County and primary staff support for the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. I believe, Karen, I know you're there. Did you have a chance to say hello?
Morning, everyone. This is Karen Pearson with Buncombe Alternatives Teen Court and Earn and Learn.
Morning, Karen.
Thank you. And I see, Kadaya, you're having some connection issues, but you are here and it's great to see everyone. And it looks like Matt with Pivot Point, not able to use video and keep a connection steady, but great to see everybody and hope all are safe and well as can be.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
All right. So hopefully we'll get some other people as they join in. We knew this always may be a time where not everyone will be able to join just based on what's going on currently, as well as technology within their employment. We still felt the need to connect today. Really, again, the purpose of this meeting is to gather an update from the JCPC members or for programs, just kind of use this as a platform to kind of talk about what's in the community, what else, resources, things like that we can perhaps listen to and see if we can help as well. Mainly just, I know we're all kind of going through it, so it's always good to kind of hear from others to be able to see if there's something that we can assist with. So along with that, we'll have a juvenile justice update. We don't have Sylvia here as well as anyone from her team, but she did send me an email to kind of give me an update to be able to present. And then following that will be an update from Lorraine and then any public comments. But before we get to that, JCPC members or any programs, let's first start with the program. I guess many of them here. We do have I know we have Matt from Pivot as well as Karen from Teen Court, and Earn and Learn. So,
hey George, it's Robin from Aspire. I'm here as well.
Hey Robin.
Hey.
Let's start with you, Robin. How's things going?
So. I will tell you that personally, I just got electric back 4 days ago. You don't realize how much you take for granted until you don't have a hot shower and a hot cup of coffee. But you know, my family and I made it okay. We went to a lot of local churches to get a hot meal. You know, very little in the way of house damage, just a flooded basement. Kid-wise, we were able to contact every youth and every family that is currently in our program. A lot were worse off than we. So the kids that could got together and cooked and brought hot meals to those other families who, for whatever reason, could not get out. A lot of them helped at one distribution site or another. You know, for now, we're just touching base with each one and making sure the kids can get out, get involved, and, you know, they're not just, you know, sitting at home. Oh, and damage. We can't go into our office anymore. That has been damaged. So we're out of there indefinitely. And I'd say the only great loss that we had company-wise was food, because it was in the, you know, cold storage at 3 or 4 of our locations, and, you know, all that went bad.
So Robin, with all that kind of damage, I know you had said obviously the food is important with Aspire and the program. Have you calculated the loss and what that's looking like?
We have not. So what we did is we actually have 2 staff now doing inventory of that. So we'll have a clear picture of that probably by tomorrow.
No, as to the damage to the facility that you're in, I know it's probably indefinitely. Is there a plan B or plan C? I know it's kind of in the future right now. Hopefully not far away future, but is there another perhaps option? Is that something that we need to look into? What's kind of going on there?
I think with where we are now, we're at the Inca campus, and where our office is situated, the only thing that we're waiting for is for them to get water, because they cannot allow us in without that. And they are also looking to install a porta-john. Those are the 2 things that they need for us to get back in. And we are being told that may happen within the next 2 weeks. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for that. And we're just looking for another space now, since right now we can't go into UNCA.
Now, Robin, I heard that UNCA is back. Is it November? Oh, no, they're done for the whole, they're going virtual for the whole rest of the fall. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if we can get back in, I know some of the classrooms were opening. If we could get back in, obviously, that's what we would prefer. But yeah, we're going to play it by ear to see what they say. And we're also checking out some local churches if maybe they can come temporarily and let us use their facilities.
Now, did you say the kids wound up cooking and delivering it to other kids that were in your program that couldn't come out?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Robin,
Any
I
other-
know,
Go ahead.
just since we have our new director here, Regina Herring, do you want to just give a very high level overview of the work of Aspire and for her.
Were you speaking to me? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Oh, I was just saying, if Robin wanted to give just a very high level overview of the work of her program, since this is your
Oh.
first meeting.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sure. So we have the main program that we have in Buncombe County is our Kids at Work. It's an interpersonal skill building class, and it's built around the culinary arts. It is once a week. We do provide transportation, both to and from. And the youth in the class are paired with both an interpersonal coach where they learn interpersonal skills, and then a professional chef where they do learn cooking skills, and they can sit for their Surf Safe exam at the end of that. And then what the other thing that we are trying to get together, it's harder now since Helene, is our music audio program. So we did have something in line, but their equipment got destroyed. So we're going to see if we can find something else.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, concerns from anyone on the JCP members as to kind of Robin, any sort of thoughts that may pop up as well, Robin, we're going to be, let us know if there's anything that we could help assist with. I know it looks like you're looking for a water porta potty that's out in the Inca campus. You're assessing the food damage as well. I'm glad that you made contact with all the youth in there. It's great to hear that they are out and about and at least trying to use their skill set that they've gotten from Aspire to be able to deliver assistance to other kids in the program. If anything comes up, any sort of request, anything like that, please let us know. We'll see if we have the connections needed to be able to get those things done.
I will. Thank you.
After that, Karen, Teen Court, Earn and Learn. How you doing?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Let's see, for Teen Court, I'm gonna let Jamie talk about that, if she has any added input here. I'm gonna start off with Earn and Learn, if I may, George. Have that in front of me.
Can you do like an overview?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially for any new board members that are with us. Earn and Learn is our community service restitution program here in Buncombe County. And we work with Manna Food Bank, Rathbun House, Shiloh Community Center, Root Cause, that's the Lord's Acre out in Fairview, and Buncombe County Teen Court. So community service would be provided to the youth in the community, both with DJJ if it's court ordered for restitution, with a person or property crime, and also if a youth is on a diversion contract and has community service that they must complete. So right now, it's pretty status quo, slightly same as Robin. With the courthouse opening back up, we will continue accepting clients. So same with the schools and our sites. I believe Juan is back in town and is back in the office and starting up receiving referrals. And as soon as we have water, we'll be back in the courthouse. And I hear, if I'm not mistaken, that could possibly be as early as next week. So we're just waiting for that. Our overall office, we lost power just like downtown Asheville, and we're doing the porta potty thing. So we're all tag teaming it and coming in and out as we can. So Earn and Learn is doing well. And Jamie, same thing with Jamie. I think the School Justice Partnership, we had gotten off to a great start right before Helene hit and had a big staff meeting with all kinds of good things underway. Jamie, would you like to touch base?
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. Buncombe County Teen Court hopes to resume regular hearings in November, continuing on the second and fourth Mondays of the month. Currently, all clients have been contacted, and current clients in Buncombe County Teen Court are all safe and well and healthy. There have been some clients and families with reports of not having places to be, but all of the families involved in Teen Court at this time are accounted for. And to me, that's the best news I've got. Thank you all for being here on this call. Trying to figure out what to do next is tricky, but just knowing that we're all here and figuring that out together has made me feel better just for today. Thank you all. We're available virtually for any of our clients to communicate with, as far as putting them in touch with resources, and that's been the biggest job out of my job that I've had the past couple of weeks. Again, thank you all. We're available. Take care.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Karen. I do believe that there's a meeting today. I think it's around lunchtime with the judge and with everyone in court, perhaps to give us an understanding of when things open up. I know here on the 4th floor in the sheriff's office, we did get water back yesterday. So hopefully next week is the time that we can come on back. Any other thoughts, questions, or any sort of concerns from anyone out there, JCPC members, as to Earn and Learn or Teen Court?
I just like to say both to Robin, Aspire, and Karen and Jamie, it's really wonderful to hear that your kids are all safe, and thank you for all the support that you're giving them and being there during this time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Karen, I have a question. Are they? I'm assuming they're having accommodations for folks who are, kind of struggling a little more. I know that the court was shut down, but I'm assuming they were, they're giving some leeway on anything that they've agreed to do.
Yes, Brandon, that's a very good question. Up until the Thursday of Helene hitting, I think our staff was in JJTC meetings, and even last week we were in JJTC meetings, kind of getting a feel for folks who are temporary displaced from their normalcy. Like Jamie said, all of our staff have open lines of communication with the families and meeting the needs as far as touching base on their Thursday contact days. So yes, to answer your question, everyone is able to check in, and we're keeping communication open for anyone who might need a little bit of leeway. As of right now, Jamie, I believe everyone is on task. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. Current Teen Court clients are all on track, and I have let all clients know that for the month of October, all that is required of them is to let us know that they're okay, and we'll pick things back up as far as fulfilling requirements starting in November, and that's okay. So clients are aware that they don't have any restrictions for the month of October as far as what they have to do other than let us know they're okay.
Correct. And Brandon, just to reiterate, the Monday before this happened, Jamie had a full house. We were in one of the main courtrooms up there, and we had lots of visitors for School Justice Partnership, and it was very successful. And I think at that particular time, we had 14 clients coming through for School Justice Partnership in court and Earn and Learn. So a big bulk of our clients we got to see right before this happened. So just a big shout out to Jamie for hosting that evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon, for that very important question.
Oh, thank y'all thank y'all for being empathetic with those folks. I appreciate y'all.
All right, I believe the other program we have on the line is Matt. Pivot Point, Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm safe. I'm safe. We have power. We got water back in the Haw Creek area. Our office in Montford somehow had every single oak tree fall kind of dominoes around it and only damaged the back porch. So that was a gift. Programmatically, we have reached out. We were just starting to get some referrals for both our young male and young female cohorts with a little bit of momentum. We have reached out to those families with the same methods that we had communicated with them throughout our programming. I'm trying now. Our team has pretty spotty, inconsistent service, so it's pretty tricky because we don't have, as some of you know, kind of a central location where we post up and meet in person. All of our stuff is remote, well, yeah, not virtual but remote. So it's been very challenging to get confirmation of check-ins and responses and replies to our families. So I want to start with that. Any assistance that the board can help and provide with communication and confirmation would be most appreciated, and I would say is needed. We don't have cause for concern beyond the general cause for concern that all of us are experiencing. I can tell you that while we are awaiting that and sort of at a loss for how else to pursue confirmation of safety of our current enrolled clients, we took our programming to Madison County. I can give a brief description of what it is that we do. We provide therapeutic adventure programming, experiential coaching for self-regulation, interpersonal skill building, intrapersonal skill building, boundary setting and maintenance, and emotional awareness and regulation skills for youth at risk and those kind of approaching that. We do it as a diversion offering as well as a prevention offering. So we decided while awaiting confirmation of current enrolled students that we didn't need schools to be open to provide after school programming. So we went over to some schools in Marshall, which opened up there, somehow miraculously didn't get destroyed because like downtown Marshall did, but we just had communication with an executive director of a K-8 school in Marshall that had opened up their programming to the children of both Hot Springs and Marshall. And we've been there the last 2 weeks providing social emotional education and regulation skills to those students. We met with, Covenant Community Church, which is posted up right in the kind of Reynolds district, Reynolds High School and Middle School property. And we're going to finalize with both their pastor and Carrie Wagner over at United Way, who is a point person for Reynolds Middle School, to again take the programming that we've been providing the youth of Buncombe County and utilize their distribution site and community care center as a pickup and drop off point. Our services have further adjusted to be on site as opposed to taking folks into the woods. I think for obvious reasons, but I wanted to name it anyway. Pisgah Ranger District has been reopened, but we're not messing around with that. We have outdoor space. We have creative crafts at our use. So we're going to be utilizing our paperwork in a little more streamlined, slightly reduced, in-depth process. We're trying to be really mindful and respectful of families and children's current trauma and not add too much to that while still, being accountable and ethical and operating above board. We should also be expanding next week, again, with our programming that we have presented to you all, slightly augmented to the youth support programming at the YMCA of Western North Carolina, located off Beaver Dam in North Asheville, while we await schools to make decisions about opening. We also have a conversation in the works with Asheville Middle School to not only address kind of the merger of North Star with the middle school students, but also that same self-regulation and emotional awareness and social emotional learning for those students, grade specific for those students. So, you know, the biggest shift in our work and delivery has been that we're going to where people are already gathering. We're not trying to add an additional logistics stretch or stress to any families in our communities. And to reiterate, assistance that can be provided by any of the board here in helping us confirm the safety of our students who admittedly are on a good day and in beautiful weather, slightly challenging to communicate with any consistency. So you know, we do have a concern, and there is a need for that confirmation. And frankly, going 7 days without hearing back from these folks without any of the current situation is not off brand as well. I'm not trying to be dismissive of the need to confirm. I just want to add that qualifier that it's not necessarily, there's still plenty of hope involved in that process.
Thank you, Matt. Lorraine, I'm wondering, Matt, I'm hearing that it would be great to have specific support in contacting your clients. Lorraine, as far as maybe you could offer guidance as to, you know, who could be in a position to do that without breaking confidentiality for young folks. And maybe, do you have anything to weigh in on right now, or do you want to think about it and then we can communicate with everybody afterwards about if there's certain things that would put that into place?
I can reach out to Matt after the meeting. I know Sylvia wasn't able to be here today, and I'm not sure if, Matt, I'm not sure if all of the youth that you're talking about, if they're all DJJ referrals or if some are community referrals. So of course, for community referrals, I'm not sure, but for DJJ, I'm wondering if, I mean, I'd be glad to help and see if we can, if court service, you know, just to see if court services has heard from any of the juveniles in your program or that kind of thing. Or, and I can also look in NC Allies to see if they're in any other programs that may have been able to connect with them.
That would be a tremendous help. Not all are, some are community referred, and we've reached out to schools and counselors in those systems and just trying to navigate getting personal contact of those professionals, because there's a lot of auto reply emails out there these days, understandably. So, and
yes.
I'd appreciate that. And I have plenty of time. I don't know what your schedule is this afternoon, Lorraine. If you want to hop on a call, I'd appreciate that check-in.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good.
And if there are specific things that y'all figure out that would be good as far as community referrals that we can support, I'm happy to be both assistance in that and also a point person if anybody else, depending on the level of the need, is interested and available.
I also just want to add that one of our lead facilitators just checked in. For those of you who are having trouble texting, WhatsApp works exponentially better than any service provider. So I just want to throw that out there, that she just heard back from 2 and is going to spend the next couple of hours circling back. So they're already starting to come in, but I just wanted to name it to you all because of the resources on this call. So
thank you, Matt. Any other questions or comments, concerns for Matt and Pivot Point? Thanks for addressing that, Matt. And it looks like perhaps the WhatsApp app is starting to filter through. And we've got Lorraine to be able to help us to further get that communication. Hopefully schools will also open up maybe in a week or so. At least I know the city's got the plans to open up here maybe 28th, and hopefully the county will come shortly thereafter. Maybe that will help with all the connections that we have with court systems opening up as well. Hopefully things can get back to some sort of normalcy here, I want to say by the end of this month. I do not know, and Hannah, correct me, I don't know if I see Lindsay or anyone from Buncombe Youth Justice Clinical on the line.
Lindsay, I don't think was able to join this morning. Regina will be able to speak to that in the future. I think she's got a lot of on her plate already. So, but we're working on when we have the availability to make sure that she has time to connect with Lindsay. And I think we can follow up about if there's other folks to kind of weigh in on some of the next steps with that program as well. I know that connecting with Silvio and will be a really important piece, and so also when she has the bandwidth.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's kind of noisy where I am. Unfortunately, I'm here at the EOC, so it's I'm hearing bits and pieces. But yeah, a lot is going on. We're trying to navigate through our existing work activities and schedules, as well as trying to deal with the disaster and aftermath of Helene. So, and I'm trying to get acclimated to everything in record time. I got thrown into this, although I'm from South Florida. Hurricanes I'm accustomed to, but not an area I'm not familiar with. So it was a little challenging, but I do appreciate you all and the work that you're doing, and I look forward to working with you all. But I will try my best to give you all an update as we get a little bit more settled.
And to Regina's credit, she started on Monday before the hurricane hit. So she was already diving full force into getting acclimated to the work of across the Justice Services Department and the county, and then became one of the core EOC members as well. So we're glad to have you here, though. Thank you so much.
And I don't know if we have anyone from Emoja or Nete. I don't know if I see Michael or Norma on the line as well. So keep our thoughts and prayers out to them. I know they're usually boots on the ground as well. So that community, if anyone has reached out to them or has made contact with them.
Looks like Lorraine, you have your hand up. Did you reach them?
Yes, I talked to them the other day. They said this morning they both Michael and Richard are attending, and maybe others. They're attending a train the trainer for FEMA paperwork at Pisgah Legal. So Michael is hoping to join us before the end of the call, but they've got a day that was kind of full, so they're gonna join in as they're able. And Richard thought that Norma would be able to be on this morning from UNITE, but I haven't seen her on. But he did say that UNITE served 650 hot meals to families just a couple of days ago, and offered face painting and had things available to bring people from the community in need together. So it sounds like they've been really busy with that, and they UNITE has been working with families in the community and has stayed busy, and Richard is working on additional grants and funding to help with more additional resources, especially for peer support and that kind of thing. So hopefully they'll be on before the end of the call, but if not, that's at least the update that I do have.
And I'll say that Hood Huggers has already had something like that, and because I've heard from a lot of people they're having trouble signing up for those FEMA services, especially that $750 that they're supposed to sell. And I feel bad because I've got mine. Me and my family have gotten that. So I've had, and so anyway, I feel like there is a need for those things, and Hood Huggers has that open and available. I forgot the location, but I'm glad Michael and those folks are doing that too. And what I've been telling folks is I think early, I signed up early on, so I had access to Starlink. So I was able to get to internet. And so I've been telling folks that it seems like we're overwhelming the system, maybe that internet came back online, that, you know, because people are being denied. And I'm not sure why, because I didn't get denied. And these are people that need it way more than me. So I think there is a need for that. And however we can help at the council, we have a lot of stuff that we're doing right now in collaboration with other counties in the western region here that have been hit and have been affected by Helene. And I can't say, you know, because I don't want to speak out a lot, but we're working on some big stuff in collaboration with the counties and the other councils of government that have been affected by this. But yeah, one of those things, you know, that needs to be done right now is that we need to help people figure out how to sign up for those things, including the DSNAP assistance. I've heard a lot about the FEMA stuff, but we also need to help. DSNAP starts, I think, tomorrow, but you can also sign up before tomorrow. It might be today that it starts, but I think it's tomorrow. But you can do the pre-application. That's what it's called. I think we just got to get those resources out, and we got to go to people. I've went to people and used my hotspot to help them sign up. But I think those kind of, you know, spaces where folks can, you know, we can, you know, send out flyers and say, hey, we're meeting at this place or this place, and we have this many people to help you sign up for those things and help you navigate, you know, those websites, because they can be kind of overwhelming. I looked at it myself, and they're asking all these questions, especially I helped my mom sign up for DSNAP, and they ask about income, and they ask about how many people are in the house, and they ask about what you have in your savings and how much you lost. And I mean, there's a slew of information that you and you know, I had to encourage, you know, if I wouldn't have been helping her, she would have gave up on the application, because it was just like, you know, and she lost a lot of food. So I would just say that from, you know, just personal experience with my own mom, that you know, and I've been out there helping as much as I can. But I do think that we need, you know, that we do need to help those folks that aren't, especially the older population that aren't as technically, you know, savvy, to help them navigate that, because they will give up on that, you know. But that service is there for them. So I applaud everyone that's setting up in the community and helping with those. So we at the council, we've helped with Starlink. So we have a room full. We have 50 Starlinks yesterday. We're giving out to small businesses. I've been out there. So if y'all know me, I went to Owen. So I went to school in the Swananoa Valley. My house is on James Branch Road, which is in the Swananoa Valley. And those folks have been hit super hard. I was trapped between East Tunnel Road and Swananoa Valley. And still there's no grocery stores except for Black Mountain Ingalls. So the folks in Swananoa are still, you know, we can get gas now, but there are, you know, few gas stations still there. But early on it was troublesome. So those folks are late to the table. So when they go to sign up for FEMA benefits and they, you know, they get rejected, which I'm hearing a lot that they're getting rejected. And I didn't. It's hurtful. So yeah, anyone that could help anyone, you know, to help sign up for those FEMA benefits. I had a friend call me the other day and said, you know, they waited on hold for 2 hours and got hung up on. So those issues are happening. And it says internet has came back online. So it's I believe it's overwhelming, and that's my opinion, that it's overwhelmed the system, especially because I went from, when I was calling off Starlink, from a, you know, no wait time to a 10-minute wait time, to them telling me, oh, your funds are being processed, they're going to be in your account, to my friend yesterday calling me saying he had been denied and he had waited on a 2-hour call and had been hung up on. So that's what, you know, I'm hearing at the moment. But I'm trying to encourage people not to give up on those things, and I don't really know what's happening with that, honestly. I'm just assuming again that, you know, as power comes back on and internet services is restored, that they're having an influx of applicants, and that it may be overwhelming them. But I'm trying to encourage them not to give up on that and to sign up for DSNAP for the food that they've lost. And I've been, you know, personally on the ground delivering stuff. And I know Land of Sky, we aren't a distribution place, but we've had a room full of stuff and we've all taken it out. I've been working with Grace Covenant. Dr. Shoup has been great. She's got volunteers delivering stuff. So if anybody needs, you know, if you know of anyone that needs those things, you know, reach out to me. And there's a lot of resources, but I feel like, as you know, they've piled up. They've piled up in places, and then a lot of distribution spots have no place to store what they're receiving. So even in Swannanoa, it was Silverados. I took 2 vans out there of stuff from My Daddy Taught Me That, working with Keenan and Brian Randall. But when we got out to Silverados, they were forwarding people to Appalachian Tool, which is just a block up the street in Swannanoa there. Well, I guess that's technically Black Mountain. That's on the line there. So we are having that, but I think the issue is that we're not reaching the people that need it, because there are people that are still calling me saying they need this. I delivered formula and diapers and wipes yesterday. I delivered formula, diaper, and wipe to a preemie baby that was born last week. And that mother came home to Walton. So I think that our more impoverished communities are kind of, you know, and I know that we have stuff at I know my brother Philip Cooper's at Eddington Center, you know, doing good work there, but there are still people that aren't getting that information. So, you know, whatever you can do to funnel those resources to those people, you know, even if it's 1 or 2, or, you know, I think it helps. Yeah, and that DSNAP, yeah, and that is that disaster assistance, yeah. And so I was working with someone yesterday, said they were denied, to actually 2 people yesterday, Tavon Edgerton, Trey Summers. You know, they were denied, and I wasn't, and that's a concern to me, because those are folks that are not as well off as I am. So those are the issues that I'm saying, just that I can think of off the top of my head, but whatever you can do to funnel, if you need to, you know, funnel into me, anybody at the council, I mean, we're doing what we can, but we're going through legislation right now and trying to, you know, get those funds, and we will get those funds, but we just have to go through all the processes first. I appreciate everyone that's helping, and everyone that's out there. If you know me, you know that I went to school in at Owen and Swannanoa, and so I know a lot of people out there. My mom works at Black Mountain Neurological Center. They had been missing 2 people, and they just found them yesterday. So it's still people out there buried. So we're still dealing with that in Swannanoa. So yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Brandon. I know a good sort of starting point is we heard from the programs and any sort of members, along with Brandon, kind of give us your thoughts and any sort of requests, any sort of need, concerns, things like that. It's great that we have the connections we have. Brandon with Land of Sky, Starlinks is able to get out there with all sorts of resources and pod locations, things like that. Snap, anything to help the community. That's kind of what we're here for, outside of just JCPC, especially at this time. So any other members just like to give an update as to how things are going with you, if there's any sort of need or request that you may have.
George, I think one of the concerns, not concerns, but I think a immediate need, once we know tomorrow in the Fairview community in King Creek, I know we're meeting to see when schools may start back. I think one of the things having elementary and middle school kids and preschool kids is the need when the teachers get into the school system, possibly having some sort of setup so that the teachers can get their classrooms ready. And so once we know more about that, I think it'll be nice to be able to set up some sort of drop-off system for the teachers' kids or clients' kids, and be able to have the parents and or the teachers get some work done for a few hours. And so I think as we move into these schools, one of the things that would be beneficial is to be able to take the weight off the parents that do have kids of this age level, to help them and assist them to get back into their classrooms. So that was just something that keeps coming up, is childcare, even if it's just for an hour. And I know my staff has great ideas on that too, but there's only 3 of us. So as we have more about that, we can send out an email. And I know that we met last Friday at the Cultivated Cocktails in Fairview with Jamie, Eric Ager, and Rob Elliott and folks like that. So once we hear more about that, we would love to trickle out and help with the childcare situation, because without running water, we're not going to be able to get these kids back into preschool, daycare, or, school in general. So that's a concern that I keep hearing from parents and families as well. If anybody from the council has any thoughts on that.
Thank you, Karen. Any sort of thoughts or comments on that? Obviously, childcare is a big issue. The adults that are seeking for kids to go back to school, or seeking employment now at this point as well, or assistance from FEMA or for anything like that. Having childcare while they're trying to navigate all of this, it's extremely important. I guess locations, churches trying to figure out places where that can be assembled closest to them, I think would be most convenient for them, as it's in those areas, trying to look for partnering up with perhaps maybe churches at that time still have electricity and water and power and all that kind of stuff. May be useful. Any other thoughts from anyone on the JCPC members as regarding childcare for families that are in need at this point while they're trying to get their lives back together? We greatly appreciate it.
I'll say one, as a parent of both a first grader and a preschooler, know that the requirements for reopening childcare from the state are much higher threshold of what is considered, safe and able to operate. So that's part of why there's been fewer dates or timelines given for childcare. But if people do have thoughts, I know that Asheville City Schools is considering an abbreviated day, like 9 to 1 for elementary school, and maybe 10 to 2 or something like that for middle and high. That was as of Monday night. Things can change a lot day by day. So, but I do know that for teachers to be able to go back to school, childcare is also going to be a huge issue for older schools to be able to reopen.
This is not about childcare, but kind of harkening back to something that Brandon said about how people are getting rejected or denied FEMA and mostly FEMA. And I'm curious about the training that the Umoja and Unite folks are going to right now about learning how to do that, how to be helpful. And just wondering if that could be made available to more of us who might actually have more time now, who could be helpful to folks applying. Because my understanding is if every T isn't perfectly crossed and every I perfectly dotted, through no fault of the applicant, it's going to get bumped from the system. So if we can help with that, I think that'd be a great path forward.
I agree, and it's concerning because they only have 60 days to appeal.
You said 50 or 15?
60 days, 2
Okay.
months. Yeah, they have 60 days to appeal. And I don't think a lot of them want to go through that. You know, I think that they're discouraged. Yeah.
This is Lorraine. If I may just say, Banta, thank you for bringing that up. And when I talked with Richard, it was the first time I had heard about them doing a train the trainer. And it sounded from talking to Richard, it sounded like they were very grateful to be able to get in on that, to be able to help families with that, you know, and to be that kind of resource in the community. That's the first that I had heard about that. About the train the trainer aspect, and that they were offering that at all. And so I'm not sure about the specifics of it, but I have heard in several JCPC meetings that I've been in the further western counties, they've said the same thing about a lot of rejections of FEMA applications, and sometimes even the paperwork coming back sounded confusing. Like it would sound like they qualified, but then it would say they didn't, and so it wasn't clear why they'd been rejected and that kind of thing. And Pisgah Legal is who everyone had mentioned as the best resource for understanding the paperwork if people did have challenges. So I'm not sure, Banta, but maybe reaching out to someone there would be to find out if maybe they would offer more train the trainers. I'm not sure about the details of that. And Richard at Emoja may also be able to tell you more.
And Banta, if you wanted to write this down, Molly Maynard is over at Pisgah Legal, and she'll have a better idea of the train the trainer, but they are held up at such specific times and a window of opportunity. So that could be part of what folks are running into. I know I am myself. And, you know, Molly has her pulse on, you know, private roads, gravel roads, roads that have caved in, these types of things. So that's a name that you might be able to reach out to and find out about that.
Great, thank you.
I put the links in the chat from both Pisgah Legal and Buncombe County about the different in-person FEMA in-person assistance for completing FEMA applications. And if we get more information about the train the trainer opportunities with Pisgah Legal, I'm happy to send that out to everybody as well.
Do you think Pisgah Legal will help with appeals?
I believe they will, and I think also I don't know for sure if people have a denial and they're capable of going to one of those in-person sites, if they would be able to help in person as well. I can try to find that out.
Okay.
That, of course, is another issue. I have a good friend who spent almost 3 hours at an in-person site with her 6-month-old baby yesterday or the day before, and still didn't, you know, I think they are overwhelmed. Yeah.
Myself and a number of both colleagues and friends got the rejection letter, and then in the attempt to make a phone call when, you know, whatever parking lot had service, and for those 15 minutes. Once we got service back with some consistency, even though we got a decline or a rejection or whatever the formal wording is, I also received the deposit in my account. So like, I know that's not necessarily exactly what we're talking about here. Actually, it's 100% not what we're talking about here. I just want to throw out that there are a lot of people, adding to the confusion is folks are getting decline notifications and still receiving the funds. So I don't know if maybe there's an opportunity to also provide with where there are Starlink set up, the opportunity for folks who do have online banking to also just confirm whether or not they have received the funding, because that could exacerbate the stress and frustration and also relieve the tension, and allow folks to concentrate on other immediate needs if they fall into the same experience that I did.
Thank you, Matt. So it seems like there's pod locations that are already obviously giving out supplies and resources, but more importantly, we need these pod locations to help assist with applications, at least to give some sort of financial support during this time as well. Any of us get any sort of information, either be it from PISCA or from any else, as to any sort of assistance in training or helping during that time, please forward that information so we can spread that out. It seems like those are critical right now, at least for the clients that we serve, for the community right now, have some kind of financial backing right now. Any other updates from our members?
I'm dropping this in the chat. Dr. Noriel Armstrong was not able to be here today, but she did want me to pass along that she's working with some volunteer therapists who are offering some therapeutic support for staff and first responders, and they have plans to build on that and offer community healing events and mental health support in a variety of ways. So she will pass more details along as they have them.
Thank you. I want to say I did reach out to Sylvia. She's driving right now to Greensboro. She said all of her staff are accounted for and are safe. They're currently right now displaced from the courthouse due to the lack of water that we have. So they're temporarily working in the Hendersonville courthouse. This is going on, I believe, their second week in Hendersonville. Once the water issues get resolved here in Buncombe County, they will return back to work here in this area. I do know that I believe the secured custody cases are all being done virtually. All of the other cases that aren't secured custody for right now are being continued. So that may play a part in Learn, as well as all the other programs where it kind of attaches to sort of their adjudications. But it's at least good to hear that their staff is all accounted for and safe. If we hear any more information from Sylvia, any needs that she may have or any updates, then we'll pass them along to everyone in the JCPC community.
George, I think Michael Hayes just joined as a panelist. Michael, welcome. If you're interested and able to share, we're just having space for programs and for council members to share updates about how things are going.
All right. Trying to get to a place that's comfortable. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second, please.
Maybe while Michael's getting situated, if there are any other kind of updates or needs from council members. And Matt, I saw your message, and I will connect you with Dr. No for sure to talk about aligning efforts on mental health support.
Awesome, thank you.
Hello, can y'all hear me now?
We can, Michael.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm at how y'all doing?
We're doing all right. It's good to see you.
Good to see y'all as well. I'm at Trinity Church, and of course, you know, we don't have great internet service inside the church. So I had to run outside the church, and as you can tell, I'm out of shape. I'm breathing hard right now.
Well, it's cold out there, Michael, so make sure you're warm.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's feeling much better than it did yesterday around this time. So I'm happy about that. But just to give y'all an update, we you know, we've been boots on the ground since the inception. Since it happened, we understand our role in community is it's always trying to connect community to resources and services. So my team and I, we have been on the ground. You know, even though we were without power, water, all of that, we had to like rally and connect with some groups and make, you know, different collaboratives happen. So we collaborated with Pota Emma, as well as the YMI Bridge and the Gap, as well as Dream Center, and then of course they moved to the Eddington Center, Unite, as far as like sharing of a vehicle, not particularly like, you know, but we also share some of the same people anyway. So getting resources to families and supplies to families. The biggest thing that you know, I would like to report is that you know, we've been in constant contact with you know, not only our JCPC students, but it's also our students that are part of Hope for the Future. So it's constant contact, constant being able to supply them what they need. But we now realize that, you know, we have to open back up now. And you know, I know there's some stipulations to us opening, but with so many parents being asked to go back to work, with, you know, being demanded to come back to work, we recognize now that we have to open up earlier than expected. You know, we wanted to wait till school started. So right now we're talking to Trinity United Methodist Church about, you know, what we can provide as far as, you know, proper sanitary measures to be able to open up our out of school program. So we're looking to actually open up on Monday. You know, we realize we have to maybe transport more kids, like picking them up. But you know, we're gonna make it happen because there's a need, there's a demand for it from our community, and you know, I'm glad some people are being asked to come back to work. You know, it's not in my discretion to say if I agree with it or don't agree with it. But you know, from the parents that we talk to, it feels like some of them feel like it's forced. Some are, you know, ready to go back, but we do know our children are ready to, you know, be back to a a social calendar. You know, like, you know, they know they're going to see certain friends out of school that know what to expect, you know, when they hear. And so, you know, we're really looking forward to that. But we've been in touch. We've been in different communities. We probably gained like 50 new participants by us being over in Ledgewood Village a lot, being over in Woodcrest, being in Diva View, Klondike. So, you know, those were some of the sites that we decided to take on as far as doing the work. But it's great for me to have this. It's great for us as organization to be able to have these connections through our communities. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing, you know, what's going to happen after this. I will say I am thankful to see the unity that has happened because of this disaster. That's been the most beautiful thing to watch, you know, because organizations can be against organizations for certain reasons, either minute, you know, whatever it is. But I've seen Asheville move in a way that has been so powerful and so inspiring. So I'm very thankful for that.
Hey, Michael, thank you for being at Oak now. My sister and my nieces and nephews over there.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Who's your sister?
Christian Priester.
Okay, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to meet a lot of people over there, man. So yeah, that was one of them. So I thank them for welcoming us there. You know, and we've been there pretty much every day. We're gonna keep, you know, supporting as this thing, you know, goes to the next phase. But you know, we're excited about the connections that we're making. And our JCPC students, I want to share this part. Free, we just hired another young gentleman. But they are so connected with these youth. So Free made sure that, you know, no time went by before he got in touch with all of our students from you know, from, well, all of them. I'm not gonna mention names, but all of them, new ones, those who have been in for a few weeks. But he was like immediately on it, and even before I called to ask them to come in, he was already at their house. It's like going door to door. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the type of dedication that makes me feel great about the work that we're doing. You know, because when our team members can, you know, step out and not be like, "Yo, Mr. Hayes, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that?" They just do it. Yeah, that's when I feel like true connection is being made. So, yeah.
Thank you, Michael, for that update. A lot of work you're doing, a lot of collaboration, and based upon that, you're just building clients, building the love and community. It's great to hear from you. I know during this time, the greatest thing about Buncombe and Asheville is the togetherness. And even with the election, everything coming about it, there's no red, no blue, there's nothing of that nature. During times of need, we look beyond that, and so that's the greatest thing of being a part of this community is to see that at this time. And so grateful for the programs that we have here in JCBC, them reaching out to their clients and being concerned about their welfare as well as their own. And so grateful for all that you do and for all the programs that we have. Any thoughts, comments, concerns we have from any of the members as to Emoja Renete, anything like that, anything we can provide, Michael, at this time?
I will ask this: if y'all can just keep sending us, you know, through y'all connections, you know, through the county and all the connections, just continue to send us resources because we're serving, you know, with all these with all of these other collaborations, because there is, you know, community that gets skipped over. You know, not intentionally. We're not saying that. We just know that there are communities that get skipped over, and even members of certain communities that get skipped over. We want to be able to continue to serve everyone. So if there's resources, you know, I heard y'all talking about the FEMA situation, and you know, we're going to the trainer so that we can provide, you know, our community with, you know, the necessary information in order to file correctly and all those things. But any type of like resources that are there, man, if y'all could just send them to either myself or Richard, Michael at Umoja, hwj.org, or Richard at Umoja, hwj.org, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, Lorraine, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I had one other quick question while we have you here, Michael. Yes, when I talked to Richard the other day, he mentioned that I was asking about needs, and he said that maybe the need for heaters, to be able to distribute heaters to families. And I wondered if there are any other needs like that that you all have specifically. I know it's sounds like a lot of sites have been inundated with some things, but we wanted to just see what needs you all had specifically for items in addition as well.
Definitely heaters. You know, we're looking for like the propane heaters, blankets. It's cold, so the cold city is upon us or something. So we're looking at coats, gloves, you know, not just for our youth, but for, you know, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff, right? And I didn't really know that until we spoke to our gentleman that, you know, lives in Swannanoa, and, you know, we had to go see him, and the destruction I saw out there, it's like out of everything we went through here, just seeing that alone. So it's like, how can we continue to just serve families with what they need? And, you know, we were able to get him like Long Johns, thermals, and blankets and things like that. But there are other families and other pockets of community of that need these type of resources: cleaning supplies, hygiene products, portable showers, you know, those type of things.
Thank you.
You know, our children, that's their biggest their biggest concern, you know, with going back to school is their hygiene. You know, we have classes where we teach hygiene, and we've been doing this for every three. So they are really like, Mr. Hayes, how am I going to go back to school when I can't take a shower? Like, they are so, and you know, I'm sorry, like some of us go with this whole thing where if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I do good. looking good is inside out. So they're like, Miss Hayes, I cannot see myself going back to school if I can't take a shower. And I get it. Like I truly, truly get it. I've got a 12 and 11-year-old son. You know, they're adamant about like, I gotta watch my body. I don't want to be, you know, that kid. You know, I don't want to be the stinky kid. Like these are the concerns of our young folks. And of course our parents are concerned, but our young folks are like, you know, I can't do it. So you know, and they have to be prepared to go back. But it's how do we prepare them to go back if we don't have what they need in order to feel comfortable and go in as confident as they were before the hurricane.
And Michael, those resources, where best to deliver them? Because as Brandon said earlier, and as we all know, a lot of the donation sites are just overwhelmed.
So we've consolidated, and you know we get resources, but when we get them, we write it in community. So we do have a what we call it a substation, a sublet of a distribution center at 441 North Louisiana Avenue. Suite E and Suite J are empty. Suite K is pretty full. We're in the process of getting Suite I, and that's going to be one of our storage spaces. So we still, you know, we do have some room. And then what we can't use, what we can't store, we're also in partnership with the Safe Shelter at Trinity. So where I'm at now, the Safe Shelter, this is the education building. They just got this building, and we're looking to actually get the second floor of this building as we look into like really exploring a day school, right? So we're already like in conversation about that. So we can even store some stuff here. And then through our other relationships, like with the YMI and Poda Emma, you know, we can have them store stuff as well.
And going back to what you were saying, Michael, like I've been hearing a lot about the hygiene stuff and trying to deliver stuff, but the most is like baby wipes. And I was cleaning myself with baby wipes. It takes a lot of baby wipes to clean your body. It takes a lot of baby wipes.
You gotta learn to fold. You gotta fold, Brandon.
Yeah, you gotta. Don't fold if you're in the bathroom. If you're in the bathroom, don't fold them though, and use them. Don't.
Hey, Brandon, they got new wipes for men now. It's like
I handed out some dude wipes. That's what they was called.
Dude wipes. That's it.
I was like, I don't know if he's extra strength or what. Like, but I don't know what that was like. Dude wipes. All right. It said dude wipes XL. I'm like, okay. Big wipes for dudes. I guess.
Wipes. Yes,
we need bigger wipes. But yeah, that's the main thing. That and toothbrushes and toothpaste.
Yep.
And deodorant.
Yep.
I don't know why everybody want Dove deodorant, but for some reason they just like Dove deodorant. So.
Dove deodorant and Dove soap is our biggest request. Yep.
For the people that got water, Dove soap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
I see Scott put in the chat, is it First Baptist Church, FBC? Asheville is trying to get rid of a lot of baby supplies. They have a market open from 10 to 2 today.
They do. They've got a big market. They've accumulated a lot of supplies, and I don't know how long it's going to keep going. I don't want to speak for them. I know that my child is in daycare there, and there are rumors of it reopening. So I don't know if they're going to start trying to really push some supplies so they can get the kids back in there. But they've been open every day 10 to 2, and they've got a lot of supplies in there, all kinds of stuff.
And one person I've been collaborating with and delivering with, and they've been doing a lot of good work, is Reverend Dr. Shoup over at Grace Covenant. They've been doing a lot of, I've been going over there. She let me get in line and pick up stuff for people, and that's why I was like, they had Dove soap and Dove deodorant and baby wipes and all that. So I was like, oh, you got Dove soap? All right. So she delivered some stuff for me yesterday because she said, she was like, if you could come and get it and deliver it, that's okay. But if you can't, then I got volunteers to deliver it. And everybody that she said that she delivered to, that I sent to her, they said that she's delivered. So, that's been on the north side. That's been, a blessing for us. I'm from Klondike. I went to school out in Owen, but that's when I anyway. It don't matter, but how I got there. But you know that's a big thing. And so on the north side in Klondike and in Hillcrest, like Grace Covenant is it's kind of like a grocery store. You know, they'll let you go in there and take a cart through there and just grab what you need. You know, I guess that's while supplies last. But and they also deliver, and so yeah, just keep that in mind that over on the north side, on Merriman, Grace Covenant, Dr. Shoup is doing a lot of good stuff. And yeah, they've been a big help and yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like two fronts, right? We have these pod locations that have resources and supplies, Grace Covenant and others. If you come across those, feel free to kind of share with our members and our team so we can kind of get the word out. And the other, which is what Michael Hayes is about to do, is train the trainer, I think. So there's two fronts that I think our community needs during this time. If we can get more information on that train the trainer, at least that can allow some of us as adults to be able to help at least try to provide that guidance during that troublesome time and stressful time of trying to apply and be hit with rejections and the troublesome of internet connection. So if we can get any of those locations, any of those pod sites, I know I'll try to send out something and get with the sheriff's office. All those types of locations where people can get supplies and stuff is one thing. The other is the trainer. We can get more information as to how we can help and be tutored on that so we can get out in the community would also be beneficial at this time as well.
I will say yesterday, Grace Covenant delivered some all the way out to Airport Road yesterday, and that's far from them, you know. So yeah, I will say they will deliver. So just you know, if you need a means to get to Dr. Shoup, let me know. I put my email in the group chat. But I'm pretty sure on their website you can get to them as well. But if you want to reach me, we can get you streamlined. But yeah, they just been awesome, and it's a few different other distribution places out in Swanano. If y'all need those, I mean we're Silverados. I think they've in Appalachian Tool, right there off beside Lotto Cove. So yeah, just I put like I said, I put my email in the group chat. We got a lot of resources. I can't think of all of them right now in all the spots because in the past 2 weeks I've been on the ground and basically trying to be in Swanano, and it looked crazy out there. And it still looks crazy out there, cars and trees, and they still finding people. Unfortunately, they still finding people. So yeah, just yeah. I got my email. Just let me know. And through the council, we got we have a lot of resources. We just got to get them to the right places. We got to get them to the right people.
Thank you, Brandon. Lorraine, any updates?
As far as for DJJ updates, I know that at the August meeting we mentioned raise the age, and so I have like we're in next, let's see, in another week at the end of the month we're going to have a more formal update with DJJ. We're getting together with all of the chief court counselors and leadership for the state to talk more, to have more training specifically. But I can give you all a few more highlights. I know with the raise the age changing, there are concerns like with 16 and 17-year-olds who it just applies if they're A through E felonies. And those are they'll start in the adult. I don't want to repeat everything I said at the last meeting, but way back in August, because I know there are a lot of more pressing needs. But it does start December 1st, so I will just remind people, it's for charges after. Usually the way that works is it will be for charges after December 1st, so it's not like on December 1st of this year, it will happen to every youth. It's just if 16 and 17-year-olds that have A through E felonies. And And there will be a method to remove 16 and 17-year-olds from Superior Court. They have a new mechanism that the law has created for removing A through E felonies committed by 16 and 17-year-olds because of the concern of if they are not charged with it, for removing those from their record. But the biggest change, most of those, as Sylvia said back in August, is most of those would end up in Superior Court anyway. Those are the higher level ones, but the concern has to do more with them being publicized as part of the court record and that type of thing. So we'll I'll update you all more after we've had more training. And then just other updates. I just want to just say thank you to all of you for having your meeting today and for sharing. And, Haywood was hit really hard, and Buncombe, and as you all were saying, the Swananoa area, our office is currently closed. It wasn't damaged, and we've been able to go in there for things, but we don't have water still, and aren't allowed to work there at the moment, but can go get things. And I've done that. So I've been working remotely, and the further western counties weren't hit as hard. So some of them have continued to have meetings and that kind of thing. But just glad to know what everyone is up to, and glad to do what I can from here in Silva. So now that the roads are a little bit more open and things like that. Thank you all for the resources, and I'll reach out to you individually in ways that I can help.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thanks, Lorraine. And to Lorraine's point, through the council, I serve Madison County as well. Madison County and Marshall were hit especially hard. I know you've probably seen a lot of Madison or Marshall underwater. So again, I put my email in the chat. If you know of families in that area, I serve Madison County as well, Madison, Buncombe, Henderson, and Transylvania. So if you know families in need, please send them my way, and I'll do my best I can to connect them with resources.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, and I know we have, I guess, up until 10, so only about 4 minutes left. Any other comments or announcements, anything like that? I know perhaps some to-dos is make sure we have a list of locations that have resources and supplies, as well as a little information on the train-the-trainer. Anything else we can be able to push out by email to everyone on this group of this council. Anything else, though, Hannah, you need to address?
I can send out, there's a list of kind of organizations like Umoja and Grace Covenant, and my daddy taught me that in the peace team, and YMI and CPC and the racial and the RSAA that are kind of coordinating across different housing authority neighborhoods. So I can send that information out along with some of the other resources that have been discussed. Lorraine, I know Angie had to jump off the call, but maybe we can touch base with George, Angie, Lorraine about how to make the planning committee process as streamlined as possible, and any kind of alternative ways to make that a lighter lift for folks these days, while also making sure that we can still respond to the needs in our community at this time. So once we have more information on that, then we can reach out to the planning committee volunteers, and we can send an update to the whole council as well.
Yeah, and I know that right now, there are a number of options, and I can talk to the planning committee about that. But this I will just say to the whole council that this would be the first year of a potential 2-year funding. So as a council in December or after that time, but probably in December is when you would need to, when the JCPC would need to decide. Y'all could decide to go for 2-year funding again or go for 1-year funding if you felt like just the damage from the storm and the changes to the community might change the needs up, and it would be better to do 1 year, 2 single years of funding if that looked better, or to keep, so you'd be able to keep like the priorities more similar for next year. There are different options that you all have as a JCPC to make that decision. So just know that whatever resources, as the needs keep developing and you all want to, if you all need more flexibility, the 1-year funding might be an option, even though I know 2 years is good for programs. It might be helpful at this time to have that flexibility, but you all can decide that in a couple months from now, and and people will be in a better headspace to do that, I think, at that time. But
All right. Well, we have reached the 10. I know people have to go and value your time. Thank you all for attending. We will be in touch. Appreciate everyone's support and efforts for this community. I'm glad to be a part of this council. I'm glad we've been able to hear from others today. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to help out the community. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel reach out to any of us on this council. We'll try to make sure we use our connections to get whatever resources we need for it.
Thank you.
With that,
thank you all.
Thank you.
y'all be blessed and have a great day. And we'll look forward to hopefully seeing y'all at the next board meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you.